Let me say first that I don't want to pick on anyone. It's not my intention to ridicule anyone or to put anyone down. I just want to use an incident that happened over 20 years ago now, just as a lessons learned for all of us in the martial arts. Just to drive the point home that you need to be aware of your surroundings, and you shouldn't ignore threats of violent behavior. I'm talking about the incident where Frank Dukes claims that Zane Frazier assaulted him with brass knuckles. Zane Frazier was able to hit Frank Dukes because Frank Dukes ignored the part of it that's called the interview. I'm going to see if I can put some links below to some of Mark McYoung stuff where he talks about the interview before the assault. The one time, it's so sad, because like the one time Frank Dukes makes a mistake, it doesn't fully just monitor the interview situation. He gets ambushed because he saw Zane making threats like he'd done for a long time, and then Zane Frazier leaves. Then he comes back. This is a situation where Frank Dukes was signing autographs in public. So Zane Frazier leaves the venue, and then he comes back with some brass knuckles on. He knows that Frank Dukes is blind in one eye, and he attacks him on that side and hits him in the skull. And Frank Dukes is already dealing with brain tumors and stuff, and so he just got clocked in the head and had even more health problems resulting from being hit in the head with brass knuckles. I don't know if a lot of people know this or not. They probably don't, so I'm just going to tell you. I was flat out told when I was a teenager, if you get into an argument with somebody, and let's say it's a party, that's what they always told me. If you get into an argument with somebody at a party, after the argument is over, if they leave, you leave. Or you should just leave, period, just go home. Don't follow them, make sure they're not following you. But don't stay where the argument is if you see them storm off, because they're going to get something. Let me say that again. If you are at an event and you get into an argument with someone, any type of gathering, they get mad at you and they leave. When they leave, you leave. Because if you hang around there, they're probably going to come back and do something. Matter of fact, even if it doesn't pertain to you, if there's any type of huge emotional argument at some type of event, and you see the offended party, the upset party, storm off and leave, if they leave, you leave. They might come back and shoot up the place. The only thing I could think of, besides deep meditation in your forms to develop awareness, is what I called it the philosophy or the psychology of one-step sparring. I'll put a link to that down here, where I say one-step sparring is a real abstraction of how interpersonal violence works. You down block and you kill when you're about to attack. The defender down blocks and ki-is back or nods, and then the attacker attacks. That down block and ki and your one-step sparring, that's the interview. That's symbolic of how a lot of people like to make some type of verbal threat display before they attack you. And all I'm saying is, the reason why I bring up this whole thing is because it's controversial figure, and a lot of people believe or disbelieve a lot of the claims that Frank Dukes makes. We can't deny that he participated in one of the highest levels of martial arts tournaments. We can't deny that. Okay? That's something we can all agree is true. He participated in the Kumite. So what I'm saying is, if somebody is that skilled that they could participate in a Kumite and they could still get ambushed by someone who studies them, picks apart their weaknesses, and catches them off guard, anybody could be taken out like that. Okay, so again, I'm not trying to, come down on anyone. And I apologize if anybody's offended by this video. I just want to use it as an example because it's a good case study of how, violence erupts. The aggressor makes some type of low-level threat display, and the defender can choose to respond then, ignore it, and risk being attacked. Or if you don't engage with them, you got to leave right after they leave. Or else they might come back and escalate things further. Peace.